Welcome to a video that's been 18 years in the making, really. I found this in a puddle in Minnesota, in one of their Minnesota cleanup weeks in 2007, and for the past 18 years it's been in a sorry state because mainly the power supply was smashed up, really in a bad way. We'll turn this over, we'll take a look at that, and the idea is to fix the thing after all these years. So looking at the back, you can see what I want to repair, and that is quite ugly, that power supply section. What I've been doing since I found it was I took the leads out from the side, converted to a PC ATX connector, and also had this flailing wire here. That was for the minus 12 volts, and this had the 5 and the 12 volts on it. But yes, it all wants addressing. I would like to get this running again. Right, so the first order of business is to take these screws out from the corners. That's snapped, of course, at the moment. Then what I'm going to try and do is to rebuild the board a bit, glue it such they can see what's going on, try and get it to a better shape than it is now. And then I can see about proper repairs of these traces. And you know, these screws don't even match, so I'm pretty sure I've had to put those in back in the day. Oh heck. Now I've found out the reason. I've had to use this type with a nut on them because the post underneath was smashed out. Oh my. Huh. Anyway, let's lift it out. Oh, and of course it's on its own, isn't it? Because I've cut the wires. Right. Here's a quick example of what I'm doing. It's like this corner here, which was all snapped off and had this really big thick wire. So instead what I've done is I've re-glued on the back, taken out that big wire, and the next thing to do is just put a much smaller piece back in that place there. Also I'll be redoing all of these connections on the underneath and tracing it all around to make sure everything is actually wired up properly. Then I'll be cleaning up these connections on the right for the mains cord to come in, which will go through this ferrite ring, and yeah, hopefully we can get this running. Oh, and I do also have to tackle this section here, which was all scrubbed and the lines don't go anywhere, so they've all got to be fixed, but that's for the main power output. And for this example I've just put a piece of wire across now, so I just need to snip. There we go. And at the end of all this I'll be cleaning the whole board up completely. Yeah, I'll carry on with this and come back later. Okay, I've run some new wires. I've also tidied it up a little bit. I've stripped these back, so I'll be tinning those. Then after I've put the replacement mains cord on it, we can see about if there's any voltages. Well, here's something. I was just cleaning up this area and realised this capacitor's leg is actually away from the board. So that was a good find. I'll fix that and clean this area up. Alright, that's now back in place. I've now found a period correct, really, mains cord, mains lead. It's this type of a one. I'll clean that up. I'll chop off this bit. I used some of this actually to clean it. Meant to be for dishes. Right, but it worked really well. That's a lot better now. I won't fit it to the power supply. Okay, that's now on with a turn for strain relief. Okay, first of all, a standard caveat. Please don't do anything like this unless you've got several years experience and you're used to mains voltages. My own hand is going nowhere further than these outputs, which are the low side DC voltage. Nothing to do with over there. Right, let's see. Let's connect up the meter and see if we get any outputs. This will be what we're looking for. Plus 12, ground, minus 12, plus 5 volts and ground. That's the respective pins. I've just plugged in and first one, yes, 12.23, so that's a good sign. Next for the minus 12. That's the pin, and yes, minus 11.9798. Right, and I've tested all pins and we haven't got the 5 volts. So I think whichever one of those is a 7805 needs to be replaced, because that's the regulator for the 5 volt output. Okay, I'll try and find one of those next. Well, I've been looking through some very old parts and have found a 7805. Now, I don't know if the legs are going to be long enough. No idea, but I'll try it, and if it doesn't work I'll order a brand new one. But it's good to have found one. That's the old one out. We still get nothing. Although, if I connect to the other ground on the right hand side, we do get 5.12, 5.13, so it would appear that it's working. Connected to the other ground. Okay, one's analog ground and one's digital ground. That one on the right is digital ground. That makes sense. Did the other regulator need changing? I don't know, but this one works, so nothing lost. So the next thing is to sort out these wires and to run them to the correct connections on here. And there we go, all the lines are finished. So next thing, get it back in the keyboard and see if the keyboard powers up. Power supply is back in, so all I've got to do is to plug in this main cable now and we can give it a try. Alright, well I've got it plugged into the EcoFlow power station because there's an on-off switch on it. Let's see what happens. Click. Oh, okay. Oh, maybe not okay. Oh, looks like it's rebooting, isn't it? Right, well, so let's look at these capacitors. There's 3 22 UFs here. There's a pair of 220 UFs there and a 3500 there. I've got some new 22 UFs. I'll be putting them on those 3. And then I'm not sure what to do about the other 3, but we'll try those first. There we are, all 3 have been changed. Let's go and try it. Right, well let's see if those change capacitors have done anything. Switch on. If not, I will probably have to order some. Okay. So no, it's still doing it. Oh no. Okay. Now I've just tried something, and it's difficult to do without a decent tripod to show you, but basically when the keyboard isn't switched on, then the outputs are fine as we showed before, but when the keyboard is switched on, the outputs drop. The 5 volts goes to 4.67 and the plus 12 and the minus 12 are pretty much non-existent. Well, at this point I went online, did a bit of searching around, found myself getting a little bit confused, so decided on ChatGPT. Why not, eh? Modern thing to do. I asked that what to do, told it what was going on at the moment, and it did actually put me on to a bit of thinking, a bit of knowledge I didn't know, and that was that old regulators can end up going flaky. They can look okay with no load, and then they collapse down to pretty much nothing when you do put a load on them, and that was what's been going on. So, next idea was to find some more regulators on something and replace all of them. Right, well please do excuse the heavy thunderstorm outside. But what I've found in the various parts is this. It's an old power supply for an arcade machine. At least it was going to be a spare replacement. But it is very old. The thing looks at least, well, 30-40 years old. It would need recapping anyway, but on there is a 7805 and a 7812, so all it'd be missing would be a 7912 for the negative 12 volts, and that only supplies a couple of op amps for the audio, so I'll take them off this. So with heat sinks removed and all those screws and whatnot, there are the 2 regulators, the 7805 and the 7812. Alright, and now they're in. You might notice the screws that are silvered. I've actually upgraded them from the other power supply. Within all here, I found a couple of screws that tightened up a lot better, a lot firmer than the originals. Well, it's back together again. I'll just plug this in now, the connector, get it flipped over and see if it works. If not, I'll have to wait for those caps to arrive. I'll be fitting those anyway. Alright, so fingers crossed. Let's see what it does now. Switch on the mains. Let's have a look at the screen. Okay, well it's booting up, so that's one thing. It's not flickering. Or is it? No. No, it's not flickering. See, can I change patch? Yes. Ha 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 ha! Oh my! Oh, has this worked? Let's give it a few seconds. Of course, we want to wait for any smoke coming out on this side, which hopefully it won't do. I do have that 4700 capacitor in there though, which is higher than the 3300, and I've also still got the old 220 UF large caps in there. But this hasn't reset. Oh my word. Oh, is it really fixed? Right, so the next thing is going to be I'll get some speakers and we'll see if the -12 works. That, you know, otherwise we'll get no sound out of it. Alright, I can only find one powered speaker, but that's good enough for the girls we date. Let's see if we get some sound out of it. Okay, so let's switch on. Alright. Oh, that's a good sound. Unless it was just powering up. Main thing, do we get sound? We do. We do. Oh, wonderful. Oh. Keys need cleaning. Well, it's still running after 15 minutes, so that's pretty neat.